Hey there! Now that you've mastered the basics of N10, it's time to step it up a notch. Imagine this, you've got your workflows running smoothly, but what if you could make them smarter, faster, and even more reliable? That's what today's session is all about. Together, we'll explore some advanced concepts that will not only save your time but also make you feel like an automation wizard. Ready? Let's dive in. Picture this, you're running an e commerce store and you want to send a different email based on whether a customer spends over $100 or not. How do you make N10 understand this? That's where the conditional logic comes in. Think of it as teaching N10 to make decisions just like you would. For this, we use if node. It's like a fork in the road. If the conditions are met, it goes one way. If not, it takes the other path. Let's see this on N10 workflow. In this Telegram workflow, I've used if condition. Now, I have connected my Telegram account to N10 and used Telegram trigger as the trigger for this workflow. So, as soon as I send a message or an audio note on my Telegram chat from my mobile or other devices, this workflow will get started. The Telegram has my Telegram account connected to it, and the next step is to format the message which we receive from Telegram. I've created a variable named text and formatting the response or collecting the response and tying it to this variable name. The next step is if. Here, we will check if the message that we receive from Telegram is a string or a text message or an audio message. I am checking the text which I receive, and if it is empty, that means text is not getting received from Telegram. It must be an audio note. Next is wait. Here, I'm waiting for a few seconds for Telegram to get ready to send me the voice note. As I just uploaded the audio note on Telegram, which triggered this node. The next message or the next node is to download the file, audio file, which I put on Telegram on the chat. So I am downloading here using get operation. I am providing the file ID and telling it that it's a voice file. This will download my audio file here on this node. The next step is putting it all on GPT for understanding it. This is a speech to text node which uses OpenAI account. The resource is audio, which I'm sending it, and operation is transcribing a recording. The name of the input or the variable which it should process has the name data. So our voice file has been converted to text message, and this is getting forwarded to the next step of the workflow. If the file hadn't been sent, if condition would have started and thrown our response in the false node. From here, we are directly jumping to the next step and skipping those steps. This is how if condition can be used to process our input or output in our nodes. Now imagine this. You're running a workflow that sends an email when a form is submitted. Suddenly, your email service is down. What happens? Does the workflow just crash? Not with Anatens error handling tools. Let's build a scenario where errors don't stop the show. First, every workflow has a default error trigger. You can customize it to catch failures and send you a notification or a log for this error for review. In this workflow, I've added an email trigger that will call itself automatically when there's any error in this workflow. And I've attached a Gmail node to this. And this Gmail node will send me a mail that there is an error in AI personal assistant workflow. Please check. So this error will be received by me, and I can log onto the server and check for my clients if this caused any issues. for them. With all the complexities, your workflow might get slow. If you're processing hundreds of different data, which has to pass through the entire workflow or even partially through the workflow, this can be done in parallel to speed up the process. Imagine you are processing 100 customer feedback entries. Doing it one at a time is like this washing manually. It works better if we do it in parallel. Otherwise, it could take forever. That is why parallel processing comes into play. Here's a real world example. Let's say you're fetching customer data from an API and sending it to your CRM. You can use split batches or loop over items for this, which is available on N10. Your initial part of the workflow will be on the left side of this node, and on the right side, you can loop across this nodes or maybe series of nodes. And in the end, once all the nodes are executed and or all the customer's information is has been processed, you'll receive a done message, confirmation message on this side of the workflow. Isn't this fantastic? Parallel processing, it's just putting your automation node on a turbo mode, fast and efficient. This is the draft of AI web researcher for sales workflow. This workflow can be triggered by just clicking on test workflow button available at the bottom of the Canva, or it can be scheduled to be triggered whenever we want. Pick the latest data, it will input it and format it in a way that we can access it easily. Then we will send it to loop over items. This will take data one at a time and process it further. Let's say, for example, we are taking the data of google.com. It will send this to AI company researcher, AI tool agent, which uses SERP API, OpenAI chat model, and get website content tool. It will also have the structured output parser. Now, this AI tool will send request to search API and get as much information of the website as it can. Get website content will check that website, for example, google.com, and see if there is any information available about the company. And structured output parser will pass the response and send it forward. Here we are passing the output in a variable. Next, we will merge the data which we received from AI agent. Next step is to add the data in Google Sheet or update the Google Sheet with that data. Once that is done, we'll go back to the loop again. This loop will take second data or the second row from the earlier Google Sheet node and do the same process again. And in the end, it will have multiple data which it will send to this merge data tool, which will merge all the data and then push it forward to Google row again. This is how the loop can work. It will take data one at a time and process it and then send it forward to any tool or any node we want, or maybe back to us. Now, there is one more additional concept which can be really useful. It is one of the coolest feature of N10 in my opinion. Webhooks. Imagine someone fills out a form on your website or maybe on Google Form, and within seconds they get a personalized email. That's real-time automation powered by webhooks. You can create this webhook using the webhook trigger node on N10. This trigger node will provide you a URL on which you can send get method or get call or a post call or many other different types of calls, and that will trigger this workflow to get started and it will do the job. Let's understand this on the N10 page. In this multitasker workflow, I'm using webhook to call this workflow. This has a URL and I'm using post method so I can send data in body as well. Once this webhook receives a request from the external source, like my website, it will check if data has to be processed using store PDF workflow or read PDF workflow or audio transcription or other workflows. And then it will redirect the request or push the request forward to that workflow and get the job done. In the end, I've also added respond to webhook node. So our workflow will wait for this entire series of node to finish, and when it comes to this point, it will then respond with the result back to my website. If you don't add this, it will just send back that this workflow has been triggered. This is how Webflow can be used. You can create your N8N workflows and call it from a third party. And with that, we come to an end to the first part of advanced concepts. In the next video, we'll learn a few more things which we can use in our N8N workflows.